Hey guys, what's going on? So in today's video, we're going to be going over how to plan a subwoofer enclosure build. So we're going to go over the process of measuring, what you need to look for, also how to actually lay it out in the software to tune it to whatever parameters you want. And then we're going to go ahead and figure out what kind of design we want in the subwoofer enclosure. And we'll come up with the design and see what we think of it. So, sorry for the noise. I do have a lawn company down the road mowing a house, so let's get started. So what we'll do is first we're going to measure out the vehicle, figure out what drivers we want, then we'll get the parameters for those drivers, decide what kind of port system we want, then we'll lay everything out in the software and we'll see what range we want for tuning. So let's go ahead and see how much room we have. So this is a 97 Toyota 4Runner, and this box was built for CRV 3 years ago. And I've learned a lot about box building since then, and this was actually just supposed to be a throw together box. But I bought the system for my buddy, so. All right, so let's do depth. So total we could have roughly 31 inches. So we're just gonna do the max parameters that we feel comfortable with. So depth, 31 inches. And we're measuring from the top of the headrest because that's gonna be the farthest lean back point of the area. So your seats actually lean and you're gonna wanna take that into consideration. Next, how tall do we want this box? So I like the height of this box actually, but we could go up to 20. Sorry about that. Neighbors riding their motorcycles. So we can go to a height of 20 inches, which I don't mind. 20 inches. How wide? So we have to consider the wheel wells. And on this one, this box isn't too bad for width, but let's go ahead and see what our max is. Right at about 37. So width, 37 inches. We're going to be putting 2 Rockford T2 12s on 2500 RMS. And we're going to be looking for a tuning parameter of about 30 hertz. So 30 hertz or 32 hertz depending on what we really want. So we have all this room to play with. So let's go ahead, head inside. We'll get on the software. We'll go ahead and get some parameters for these subwoofers. And once we get the parameters, we'll go ahead and put everything in. One final note that I did forget to mention, port. Do we want the port up, subs up? How do we want it? So generally speaking, on an SUV, you would want the subs out with the port out, or subs up with port out, just like this. Now you could do a port up, but you're not going to get the same performance in the SUV because the sound is actually going to hit up and then down instead of hit the back hatch and go forward. So it's really how your vehicle's laid out. Now in pickup trucks, port up's usually better because you don't really have the room unless you wall to get the port behind your head. So it really just depends on what you're doing, if you're doing a half wall, full wall. In this video, we're just going to do a dual 12 ported box tuned to 30 to 32 hertz. And as you can see, there's no headliner in this thing, so it's going to rattle like crazy. This box makes it rattle crazy already. Also, bracing. I've got this box braced with just a regular cheap old shelf mount because I didn't want it to move anywhere. The amp's back there already, and the battery is too. So we know roughly. Let's go ahead and measure from our amp rack real quick. So from our amp rack out, we still have 30 inches to play with. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that down to 28 because I do want a little bit of room from the port to the back hatch. And with that being said, we could actually go 26 because we only have 12s. So we'll see what the tuning parameters for 26 deep is. and I can always change things up. That's the whole thing about building an enclosure, is there's a lot of factors, and the factors and variables can change depending on what you want to do. I could build a box taller if I need to. I could build it wider. I could build it deeper. It just depends. So let's go ahead, take this piece of paper. We'll go inside, get some more specs, and then we'll build this box. All right, guys. We're in the office, and sorry for any noise. I have the robot vacuum in the other room going. I also have the minor rigs behind me going. So in this video, we're talking about building a custom enclosure and how to plan and lay out everything. So here I have the Rockford Fosgate T2 D4 12 specs. And what we're going to need is a subwoofer displacement of 0.177 cubic foot or 5 liters. We're also going to need the cutout of 1081. We already know it's 1200 RMS. And next we're also going to need... Actually, we won't need anything else on this. It's not going to ask for mounting depth, but sometimes some of the calculators will. And let's go ahead and fire up our calculator really quick. And the calculator we're going to be using is Ultimate Car Audio. Here we can go to Box Calculator. It's a free download. We're going to go to Slot Ported Box. And now we can start plugging in parameters. So, width is... We're going to make it a little bit easier. Instead of doing 37, I'm going to do 36. We can go 20 inches tall with a depth of 26. Number of extra baffles. Right now we're not going to have any. Our subwoofer displacement, as we just talked about, is going to be... so what you're going to do is you're going to pull up a calculator. It's going to be 0.177 plus 0.177. So 0.354. Oops. 354. Next, bracing. We're not going to do any bracing yet. Our port thickness is 0.75. Wood thickness 0.75 for 3/4 inch. Number of subs is going to be 2. Cutout diameter is going to be 1081. Port width. Let's start off with 6. Height is going to be, so 20 minus 1.5 is going to be 18.5 because 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. Port length, we'll just say, how deep is this box? 26, we'll say 20. And extra port length is 0. Common walls is going to be 2 since we're doing a slot ported. Actually, it's going to be 1 if we do a side port. If we do a middle, it's going to be 2. And let's calculate. So net volume is 366 per sub. We got 15.15 for port area. It's tuned to 35.88 hertz. And 7.33 net. Gross is 10.83. 26.91 to 71. That's a high tuning right there. Very high tuning. So, now we can play with everything. So let's change this to 5. 5 takes us down to 32.9, and let's go to 4. So 4 is going to be about 29.72. So that's not bad. Let's keep that real quick. Let's just see what is the recommended specs for the subs. Let's see if we can find it really quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, I went ahead and downloaded the actual manual. So the 12 inch is going to be, for vented enclosures, 2 cubic feet is recommended. Sealed is 1. So what we can take from that is a couple things. So here we have our wiring diagrams and stuff too, don't forget that. Let's go ahead, and we got 3 cubits, so that's way too big. So let's do this. Let's start. I like the width, I like the height, You know, let's change the depth to, let's drop it to 20. We'll drop the width to 34. 2.5, I can live with that. Okay, now that it's 20, let's go ahead and change this to, let's do 15. So that gives us a very high tuning. Oh, we gotta change this too. Oh no, we don't have to change that. We changed those two. Let's go ahead and change this to 5. Nope, that raised us. So let's go to 3. 34. So let's go to 4. We'll go to, let's see what we can do here. Let's go to 10. It's gonna raise us more, so we need to go up. Let's do 15 and 10. Well, that's not enough, so we need to do a little bit more. That ain't enough, so let's go ahead and drop this to 3. Uh-oh, port area is not big enough, so we need to keep this at 4. Let's go ahead and do 30. That didn't drop us enough either. So let's go ahead and close these out. Let's do 6, 5, 15, 3. That's 2. 2 puts us in the red. 2.5. Still in the red. Let's do 3. 3's in, but we're 34. Let's see if we can't drop that down just a little bit. 32. So our depth is 20. Volume is 3. So let's go ahead and knock off a couple more inches wide. Gives us 266, 35. What does 4 give us? 4 gives us that, so 2. 2's too small. 2.5. 32. Let's do 15. Too small. And as you can see, we're just going to keep playing with this to see. So what if we do 6, 0, 0. Whoop, why did I do 6? 2. 2 is too small, so we have to stay with 3. So with 3, we've got to, let's go ahead and make this deeper again. Let's do 20, we'll do 26 deep. 26 deep. Now we can drop down to 4, 10, 20, and 26. Let's do 28. Alright, there we go. So 30 by 20 by 28. 0 baffles, 0 bracing. Alright, so now we have our tuning parameters. 3.58, a little high on the subs, but the tuning is actually where we want it. It's going to give us a good bandwidth. And these subs will be able to handle, honestly, that. Now we could drop this and raise it to 31. We could also go to 6, raise it even higher, or we can go to 3. But we lose out on port area. We need more port area. So we could go 3.5. Give us a nice median. 3.45. We could always drop the height. 18. We'll do 16.5. And that gets us a 30 by 3 point. So that actually is closer to what we want. We want 3 cubic foot per sub's okay. Obviously, too big of an enclosure is going to cause some issues, and too little of an enclosure is going to cause issues. But this is a good one. It's 22 to 60 hertz, 30 hertz tuning, 57 internal for the port. It's not too big, not too small. And also down below, now you have your cutout. All you got to figure out is the port, and you're good to go. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, hit that like button and subscribe for more.